Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. So this coming weekend, we got Danny Jacobs versus Luis Cuba Arias going down this Saturday night, man. Luis Arias, since we already know who Danny Jacobs is, man, pretty much comes unknown to a lot of fans, I see. We all know that this kid at one time was down with Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. It seems as if, according to Luis Cuba Arias, that him and Mayweather had a falling out due to the fact that he has a relationship with the Rockmans. We all know that the Rockmans, the father and son, they used to train in Mayweather's gym. And when that 31-minute video surfaced about all the fighters in the doghouse and they were fighting with unlimited rounds to the first man drop, well, this got Floyd Mayweather into a world of trouble with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, amongst others. And so, there were hearings on it and all kinds of stuff like that. But the fact is that Floyd Mayweather didn't want Luis Arias to continue to associate with the Rockmans. But according to Luis Arias, that's my family right there. When I had no food, when I had nowhere to stay, when I had nowhere to go before Floyd Mayweather came into the equation, well, they were family. They looked out for me. They took care of me. They took me in. And of course, he wasn't going to turn his back on them. So according to Luis Cuba Arias, this is the reason why him and Mayweather had the falling out. And we see the little video that surfaced about the parking lot confrontation that they had and everything like that. So it is what it is. But however, since then, Luis Arias has been doing nothing but winning. He's remained undefeated. He managed to get down with Rock Nation now, so he's getting put on HBO, and now we see him getting a respectable opponent like Daniel Jacobs. And according to Luis Arias, he didn't even expect to get this kind of fight. Out of all the names that were on the list, Danny Jacobs wasn't added until like later on, until Danny Jacobs signed that HBO deal that he just signed with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom Boxing. So it's a good win, good step-up fight for Luis Arias. He's very hungry. He's a big boy for 160, man. Comes down from 168. He fought at 68 earlier on in his career. So going into the ring with Danny Jacobs, who now likes to really put on a weight in his fights now, this is going to be a good thing for Luis Arias because there won't be much of a size difference. We know it was rumored that Danny Jacobs came in on fight night against Gennady Golovkin at about 175 pounds. He did not do the next day weigh-in, and we all know that he had to come within that 10-pound weigh-in due to the fact that the IBF championship was being defended by Golovkin. So we didn't know what Danny Jacobs' weight was, but we know he was a real big boy. And according to Danny Jacobs, he was about 175 that night. So Luis Cuba Arias knows that he's in the ring with another big guy. Like I said before, Luis Arias is a big guy. He came from 68. So I think him handling Jacobs' weight won't be much of a problem for him. Now, according to Luis Arias, he's going to bring the fight to Danny Jacobs. He believes that the blueprint to beating Danny Jacobs is to be aggressive and to bring that fight to him. He's basically trying to steal a page out of the playbook of Dmitry Pirog and what Gennady Golovkin was able to do to Daniel Jacobs to, effectively neutralize him. And that is become aggressive, push him back, constantly, constant aggression throughout the entire fight. Now, from Luis Arias, from the fights that I've seen him fight, he does become aggressive in his fights, but he doesn't do it consistently. You know what I mean? So in order to beat Daniel Jacobs, or in order for those Dmitry Pirog and Gennady Golovkin to beat Daniel Jacobs, it took constant pressure, constant pressure, not to mention packing a mean punch with it. Now, Luis Cuba Arias seems to have respectable power, not devastating power by far, but definitely respectable power, and he's always willing to engage. But like I said before, it's never consistent enough for my liking, and enough that I believe that it will honestly pose serious problems for Danny Jacobs, man. A lot of people are actually picking Arias for the upset in this particular thing, man. I don't think so, man. From what I see from this kid, he's hungry, and he does feel like he has the blueprint, and he's full of momentum, and I give him that. But yet and still, from what I'm seeing in the ring, I just don't think he's the class of Danny Jacobs, man. I think Danny Jacobs is a class step above him. I think Danny Jacobs will see what he's doing from a mile away. This kid tried to come in there and become aggressive the entire fight. He better hope his legs can last him for 12 rounds. Daniel Jacobs is going to be a boxer puncher, as he's always been, staying on the outside, using the jab, using the foot movement, becoming aggressive at times throughout the fight. and I think Daniel Jacobs will handle this kid, man. I think I give it to Daniel Jacobs by UD. I think he outboxes Cuba Arias. I think Arias does attempt to put his foot on the gas at many points through the fight. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it will be consistent enough. And then I don't think he will nearly do as much as damage as, say, Dmitry Pirog and Gennady Golovkin did using that style. So I'll go with Danny Jacobs by UD in this particular situation. And if Danny Jacobs knows, man, he cannot mess this opportunity up. Danny Jacobs possibly, he says he wants to get a stoppage in this fight, given that this is his first fight on HBO and a part of his HBO deal. First fight under Matchroom Boxing. Eddie Hearn has been out and about all week trying to sell the dude. So, you know, he has a lot riding on this particular fight. This is going to be the first set of eyeballs put on Danny Jacobs under his new umbrella. So, and he wants big things. He wants Canelo. He wants Gennady Golovkin. He wants the big fight. So if he wants to get back to that level of fight, he has to look impressive against guys like Luis Cuba Arias. So he has a lot riding on this, and a loss for Daniel Jacobs would just be devastating at this point in his career, man. Real talk. According to Danny Jacobs, he believes a loss in this situation may prove his career to be over, and that's according to Danny Jacobs. According to Luis Arias, he feel like this fight will be the fight that be the gateway fight that he walks through to take him to the next level, man. To get his name mentioned in there with the Canelos and the Gennady Golovkins and the Billy Joe Saunders. You know, this is the fight that he wants, and he needs to get to that level. In a defeat, or should I say a good defeat over Daniel Jacobs, man, let's just say this will catapult this kid's career into stardom. Real talk. So we'll see how this thing works out, man. Looking forward to it. Hopefully it should be an action-packed fight. Both men are talking like they're coming to fight that night. So let's see who pulls this thing out. So to the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. Well, all the heavy hitters are now on HBO, man. Hopefully Jamal Charlo will be coming on over soon. But however, he's not locked in with Showtime, and I think he is available to make fights over on HBO. So maybe he doesn't need to be officially locked in by HBO. But it'll be good to get Jamal Charlo on the HBO side, and then now, man, at middleweight would then be turned up, because now the politics, the network politics at least, will be out the way, and that would just be one good thing and get us one step closer to nothing but good fights. So to the next video, peace out.